Episode 1 Hunter Gatherer A Simple Beginning. The land of Yosnium had never experienced anything but peace and prosperity. The people of this island continent had found peace for centuries. The three kingdoms of Yosnium had found mutual benefits from trading and sharing skills, each unique to the races they belonged to. The humans were well versed in the practice of farming and agriculture, supplying food for all the island's inhabitants, whilst the dwarves were masters at mining and gathering resources from nature, whereas the elves had developed water-based technology as well as secret technological advancements that one could only describe as magic. Elves were the masters of the oceans and boatcraft. Trading between the three races kept prosperity on Neosnium. Never had a war been waged, or buildings burnt, or beings slayed. Out-of-realm entities noticed the potential of Yosnium and formulated plans to take the resource-rich continent for themselves. The issue was the portals between these realms were not located near Yosnium and had been broken for many millennia. The being sought an individual to control and recreate the bridge between realms. Will this be the end of the first age of Yosnium? What many describe as the Age of Peace. One unassuming child and his mischievous sister. Volkrith and Vogdort, human brother and sister, were best friends, inseparable for the majority of their early childhoods, only separated in age by 1 year. Typical children of humans during the First Age were born to parents who farmed. Vogdord was a black-haired child. She was innocent and lovely to the people she met, but was mischievous when alone and in hiding. Volkrith was always an unwilling participant in Vogdord's mischief, but always tagged along out of love for his sister. Volkrith loved nature, and when he got the chance, was always out wandering and exploring. Because of this exploration, he was a lean, agile child who was skilled at climbing and navigation. Vogdord one day came up with the plan to change the town's clock in the central clock tower to mess with everyone and cause massive disruption in the town. Vogdord was always trying to mess with people and get away with it. Knowing she would not be able to climb the tower herself, she knew she needed the help of her younger brother, Volkrith. Volkrith was unwilling, but Vogdord had a way of convincing her brother to do things for her. When the sun went down, the two snuck out of their home, and Volkrith showed Vogdord the way up the tower, using his impressive climbing skills and a rope to drag Vogdord up the part she couldn't traverse herself. When both of them reached halfway up the tower, rain started falling from the heavens. Volkrith warned his sister if it got much worse, the climb would be impossible. Vogdord didn't want to listen and insisted they continue to climb. Several minutes passed and progress was slow, but the rain fell harder and harder. Volkrith refused to go any further and yelled at his sister to please stop and return home with him. She refused and continued to climb up the tower. Volkrith descended and started his walk home when he started seeing lightning and hearing monstrous claps of thunder. He turned to return to the clock tower to try to save his sister from danger. He was within eyeshot of the tower when a massive flash of light lit up the night sky. A colossal bolt of lightning struck the tower and in turn struck Vogdord. Her body was thrown from almost the top of the tower, but as Volkrith watched on, he was shocked. Her body slowly floated down and gently settled on the ground. Volkrith stood still in complete awe, but once he snapped out of it, he didn't hesitate to collect his limp sister's body and carry her back home. On return, he burst into the house screaming for help from his parents. The night passed and Volkrith didn't sleep. Instead, he was wide awake, awaiting the fate of his sister. He stood near the window of his home, whilst his parents looked after his struggling sister, who lay unconscious in their shared bedroom. When the sun was rising, he went outside and stared off into the distance, and couldn't help but accept the blame for what happened to his sister. Even the sight of the glorious Hukdamu mountain, which always brings him happiness, couldn't do so this morning. Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of my fantasy Minecraft Let's Play, where we create interesting lore for every item and mob in the game of Minecraft and build a world around it. My name is Orca and I'll welcome you to my YouTube channel. In today's episode we'll be constructing a starter base over here on this island. It is quite an ambitious design, so we are going to be very busy. I might just jump up on a tree real quickly so I can show you this island a bit better, if I can get through this gap. Let's just jump up on this tree and have a look. So that's the island we're going to build the starter base, but let's get straight into it. Punch a tree. So just like any other Minecraft world, I'm going to build some wooden tools, try to find some coal and construct some stone tools, and then I'll try to find some iron to build out iron tools. I'm not going to bore you with this process, I think you've seen it enough in Let's Play series. Alright, let's see if we can quickly find some coal and some iron. There's a cave down here, have a look down here. If I get underneath this ledge. Alright, let's go. Oh, okay, yep, not really a real cave, but here's some coal. So let's just make our stone tools to start off with, and hopefully we find some iron in the process. If not, we'll continue to explore. Alright, so no luck finding iron until now. So I just made a cut just so you didn't have to suffer through me exploring half the island, finding no caves, and not finding any iron. So as you can see, we didn't have a normal Minecraft video intro. So we'll start every episode off with a transcript and a part that is narrated and explain Eosnium, which is the island we spawned on. But as we get deep into the series, we'll drill down on smaller stories so we can add depth and reasoning behind our constructions in the world. So for example, we'll make a farm barn and we'll explain the family that lived in there and what happened in that building, so that type of thing. And as I stated in my intro, we will be incorporating most items and all mobs of Minecraft into the story so that they have a reason to belong in our world. I've written about a couple thousand words already on this story so far, but I've left a lot of mobs and items out of my story so we can have a community driven conversation about how best they fit into our world. So another thing you might notice is that I've got a timer running in the bottom left, so whenever you see first person video clips, what you're going to notice is that that timer is going to be running, and you'll see the cuts from in between the footage that I show you. So if I do something and then 4 hours in real life has gone by, you'll see that cut and you'll notice how much time it actually took me to do the task that I just did. I just think it's a fun way for us to track and be able to see how long each episode takes. So I can tell you right now that this episode is going to take a significant amount of time, so be very interested to see what time we end off at the end of the episode. Here just cutting some wood down because the island that we're going to build our starter base on doesn't actually have any trees, so I figured I may as well cut some tree down now, just get a good initial starting amount of wood. And since we haven't found a cave, I'm thinking the best bet we're going to have is to just dig straight down, make sort of a mine shaft and maybe start strip mining. That'll give us a lot of cobblestone, coal, iron, and hopefully we can find some diamonds in the process. I did find a broken nether portal on the way here. That's where I got these tools from. I'm going to cut down a few more trees and collect some saplings, and then I'm thinking we jump in a boat and head back to the island. I have already designed our starter base, not the whole thing, but the general look. So I know what materials we need. They're not exactly the best starter materials, but I think it's a cool looking design, something that's a little bit different. So that's what I'm going to go with.
we're just going to quickly grab the rest of these saplings and then we'll build a boat and we will sail our way all the way back around this island and get to our starter island. So let's quickly build a boat. And of course I've broken my crafting table, so I need to place that back down. So we'll quickly build a boat and I'll cut to us at the start island. So if you're paying attention in the beginning transcript, you probably know what mountain we're looking at right now. This is us just sailing back around to the start island. So where we spawned was on the south side of this island, and then where we ended up was all the way to the north end. I apologize for this bad rendering distance. Currently recording this on a pretty rubbish computer, but I am in the process of buying a new one, and that should be here anytime soon. Alright, so that over there is the start island, so let's quickly sail over. So the first thing we're doing here when we got to the starter island was planting our sugarcane, purely just for the fact that we're going to need a fair bit of that to make some paper to get our enchanting table running. That always seems to be the biggest bottleneck that I experience when I start a Minecraft world, so we're going to try to get on top of that real quick and early. We're just going to pan out here and we'll just start lighting this island up, noting it is becoming nighttime. So this is us quickly lighting this up. Alright everyone, I think this is the first mob we fought this series, so hopefully we can kill this guy without him blowing up. Alright, I think it's one more hit. Yes, beautiful. There we go, Monster Hunter. So this is a quick clip of us digging that 5x5 mine shaft that I was talking about earlier. So I decided 5x5 so we could get some cobblestone, because we will be using stone brick in our build. Not much of it, but we will be using it. As well as some diorite. We hit a diorite vein and we will be using a fair bit of diorite in our build. And we're just going all the way down to bedrock. And then we're going to start a strip mine for some diamonds. So we finished our mine shaft. This will be our main source of diamond collection in this world. We will still go caving to get all the other resources. This is how we've been collecting food at the start of the world. Salmon's a great source of food and quite easy to get. Now we have to do a bit of caving, so let's get into that. Alright, so whilst I was caving I found this Enderman, so as everyone knows, it's quite important to kill Enderman at the beginning of a Minecraft world, so let's just do that every time we see one. So another little goal I've got for this episode is to collect every type of tree sapling. So here I am finding a jungle biome and collecting a sapling. And throughout the video, you'll see clips of me collecting all the other types of trees. So another important building material we'll need for our build is acacia wood. And whilst I'm out actually exploring for a mangrove, I'm going to kill every cow I see so we can get the leather for the books for our enchanting table. Ah, we finally found our mangrove, so we're going to get straight into cutting this down and trying to get as many stacks of this wood as possible. So this is such a hard type of wood to cut down purely because the wood doesn't start at the ground like every other tree. It starts up in the air and then you've got these roots around it. So it makes it such a slow and tedious grind to get the wood, and we're going to need a lot of it. So we're going to probably need at least 10 to 20 stacks of this. So as you can imagine, this won't be the last trip we'll make to this mangrove. It did take me quite a long time to find it, and it is quite a distance away from our home, so annoying, but it is a very rare biome, so understandable. Seven hours in, and we've got an enchanting table. Here I am entering the nether for the first time and forgetting to put on gold armor and running for my life like an absolute idiot. So this is us just continuing to collect the resources we need for our starter base. So this is us collecting a vein of basalt. So while resource collecting in the nether, I've come across a bastion, so let's quickly raid that. So we're just still resource collecting, but this is me finding a spruce sapling, and I think at this point that only leaves us with needing a dark oak sapling. So that miniature goal that we had for the episode is nearly complete, and we haven't even started the construction of our base yet. Whilst we're collecting the last of the tree saplings that we need for the episode, what I'm going to do is run through the materials that we're going to build our starter base out of. I did find some inspiration on Pinterest. I will put that link in the description. But basically, I wanted to pick some materials that are a bit different. So I really wanted to build with mangrove wood. So that's going to be the core theme color that we've gone with. To pair with that, we've gone with acacia, so that nice orange color. We're going to build with some diorite, some stone brick, and also some basalt. So all we've done so far in this episode is collect our starter resources for that construction. I don't have an exact list, but I've collected enough that we can start construction, and just throughout, if we need more, I will just go and do that. Alright everyone, we're back on the base, and now you can see we've got every single type of tree. So we've only got some diorite to collect, and then we can start construction of the base itself. Just like with any build, we start off with some terraforming, and then I'm going to do a quick outline of the whole build itself. We are going to overhang the back of the island here, so I'll just build a temporary platform out of dirt. So we're nearly 20 minutes into this episode, and let's finally start our build. So I've just got a bunch of stone brick here. This is what I'm going to make the outline out of, because the bottom layer of our build is stone brick. So I'm just going to be constantly smelting some stone whilst I'm doing this, so we can keep that constant supply of stone brick coming in. So let's just get into that, and I'll show you a little time lapse of me constructing this outline. So we've jumped ahead a little bit. I've just extended these walls up using that outline, and I'm going to quickly try to get through this build. It's quite a lengthy build, but we don't have much longer left in this episode, so with the magic of editing, now we have diorite walls, and the next step is to build our mangrove pillars, so we'll just get straight to that. So we've got our mangrove pillars in. Now you can start to see the size of this build. So it is quite a large build for a starter base, but I thought why not just start this series off with a bang. So we've gone quite big. It's going to take us a long time, but I think in the end it's going to be worth it. And it just sets the foundation for us to do some even bigger builds in the following episodes. So my plan is for the next 2 episodes, one will be about the interior of this build, again, being such a quite a big build, it's going to take quite a long time to do the interior, and then another episode is going to be based on the terraforming and the island landscaping itself. So then we're going to have a complete starter island slash starter base constructed, and then everything from there will be builds that are directly related to the story at the start of the episodes. So this build is related, but it's not going to be revealed for a period of time. So you're going to have to stick around and wait to see what character lives in this building and what role they actually have on the greater story and world that we're developing. Just finishing the construction of this bridge here. It connects the main building to this tower, and the tower itself is actually going to hold a iron farm slash a villager breeder. So that's just going to give us a kickstart into some of the bigger builds we have later on. So it gives us some villagers to use for trading and a nice income of iron. The tower was designed with the iron farm in mind. The diameter was picked exactly to fit the iron farm and villager breeder inside. I had some issues making the iron farm and breeder, mainly getting the zombie inside the farm itself. I had a zombie burn to death because I accidentally removed the block above its head during the day. I had iron golems spawn and kill the zombie. I had many a zombie not be able to pick up the items itself. And as you can see, this is a representation of something we're going to have to deal with later on, and that was spawn proofing the roof around the iron farm just so they would spawn inside the farm itself and only spawn there, so we don't have them constantly spawning on the roof, getting stuck and stopping our production of iron. To alleviate this problem, we get some string later in the episode and just cover all the spawnable blocks around the iron golem farm, and this prevents them spawning and makes our farm work more efficiently. So once again, we ran out of mangrove logs. This time I've decided to go to the swamp itself and collect it. So I think that was a more efficient way rather than just doing it locally here on the island. And also that gave me the opportunity to go get some acacia wood. So hopefully that's all the resource gathering we have to do for the episode and we can finish this build. So as you can see, the roof's going on top of the building and we're going to just be conducting the little finishing touches. Alright, so I was just doing some spawn proofing and I've removed, I guess, one of the vital blocks that stopped the whole thing catching on fire. So our roof itself has actually burned down. It spread uncontrollably, so there was literally nothing I could do. By the time I realised it was spreading, I came outside and had a look and the tower was gone. So I guess we need to rebuild it. Not all bad. I wasn't completely happy with the design, so I've gone and designed it slightly differently. I don't need to really go into details. Very similar. All I've done is really moved the oak logs just in one block so there wasn't an air gap. I'm just happy we went and got more mangrove and acacia wood throughout the build. Otherwise this would have taken me at least a couple of hours to reconstruct. Alright, so we have finished the build. All I'm doing now is going around to double check we haven't missed anything. So just having a once over. Yeah, I can see I've missed the glass in this window, so let's jump up quickly, do that. And yeah, I'm just going to do a nice snappy once over, make sure we haven't missed anything. There's like these little buttons, the trapdoors, just stuff like that, lanterns, all the little details. I just don't want to miss any and then have to come back later and fix them up. So let's just pop this glass in real quick. Alright, so just some glass panes. Gone with orange, I don't know if that contrasts too much. We might change the colour, but that's what I've gone with for now. Break the scaffolding, and then we can have a better look from the outside to see if we missed anything. Admittedly, I did get a bit excited building this build, and I did miss filming some things. I did miss some audio, so I don't think my audio is on right now for this clip, but I think that's purely just from excitement. I'm excited to start this project, excited to get this first episode out and see what everyone thinks. If you could leave a like and subscribe. This is my first video on my YouTube channel, so it would mean a hell of a lot to me. So that's the first episode done and dusted. Thank you so much for watching. If you could please leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the shader pack, as I've now got my new computer and can run Minecraft comfortably using the shaders and recording, and I personally think it makes for a better experience. So give me your thoughts down below, and once again, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next episode.